How do you know if a woman is attracted to you? Most men look in the wrong place. They watch her words, her texts, her smile, her compliments. Every one of those is a decision, and every decision can be polite, strategic, or completely meaningless. That is why so many men walk away from a conversation with no idea where they stand. The real signs a woman is attracted to you are not decisions at all. There are 7 signals she cannot control, no matter how composed she is, because they are automatic nervous system responses that happen before conscious thought ever reaches them. Here says, do it. Her voice does it. Her skin does it. And she has no idea any of it is happening. These are the 7 attraction signals a woman cannot fake and cannot hide. Stay to the 7th because it is the one that is impossible for anyone to produce on purpose. Let quotes get into it. Her pupils open up when she looks at you. The first signal she cannot Chapter 2. Signal 1. Pupil dilation, the automatic response. Control is happening in hears, and it is measurable. When a woman looks at something her brain registers as desirable, her pupils dilate. The dark center of her eye physically expands to let in more of what she is seeing. This is an autonomic response, the same category as your heart rate or your digestion. There is no muscle she can flex to stop it, and there is no amount of composure that overrides it. Here is why this matters more than a smile or a compliment. A smile is a decision. A compliment, mutilation, is not a decision. It is her nervous system deciding you are worth taking in more of and reporting sick, is a decision. Pupils that decision on her face before she has any say in the matter. You do not need to stare to catch this. Look for eyes that seem darker, wider, softer when she is talking to you, compared to how they look when she is talking to someone else. That contrast is the tell. Same lighting, same room, different eyes. That is the one most people have heard of. The next one almost nobody knows about. Her blink rate changes without her permission. Chapter 3. Signal 2. The unconscious blink rate. Second signal is one of the most overlooked signs of female attraction, and it is remarkably easy to spot once you know it exists. Her blink rate increases when she is attracted to you. The average person blinks somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 times per minute at rest. But arousal, and here I mean physiological arousal of any kind, including accelerates along with it. She has no awareness this is happening. That attraction pushes that number up. The nervous system speeds up, dopamine rises, and blinking nobody monitors their own blinking. You will notice it as a kind of flutter, a slight quickening around the eyes when the conversation gets warmer, often paired with a longer, slower blink right after, almost like a reset, which reads to your brain as softness, even though you could not explain why. The reason this signal is so valuable is that it is invisible to her. She can catch herself smiling too much and dial it back. She can catch herself leaning in and sit up straighter. She will never once catch herself blinking too fast because no human being on earth is monitoring that. Watch the flutter. It is honest in a way her face is not. Now the third signal shows up on her skin. Her skin flushes at the neck and chest. The third signal she cannot control is color, and it does not always appear where you would expect. Everyone knows about blushing in the cheeks, but the more reliable version of this happens lower, across the neck, the collarbone, and the upper chest dot. When a woman is attracted to you, blood flow increases to the skin, and it often shows up first as a faint warmth or pinkness across that upper chest and throat area. This is pure biology. The dilation of blood vessels near the skin surface is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, which is the same system that runs your heartbeat. She cannot instruct it to stop any more than she can instruct her heart to skip a beat. What makes this one so telling is the timing. Watch for the flush appearing during a specific moment, not throughout. It arrives when the conversation crosses a threshold, a compliment lands, a moment of eye contact holds too long. Something is said that means more than it appears to mean. And in that moment, her skin reports it. She may feel the air. The fourth signal is one you can hear rather than see. Her voice drops lower than her normal range. Chapter 5. Signal 4. Vocal pitch and modulation. The fourth signal she cannot control is in her voice, and researchers have measured it directly. When a woman speaks to a man she is attracted to, her vocal pitch drops. Studies on vocal modulation have found this repeatedly. The frequency lowers, the pace slows, and a slight breathiness enters the sound. She is not doing this on purpose. She does not hear it happening, but everyone around her does, including you, even if you never consciously registered it. The way to verify this in real time is contrast. Listen to how she sounds when she orders a drink or talks to a worker or answers her friend. Then listen to how she sounds when she turns to you. If the voice that meets you is lower, slower, and softer than the voice that meets everyone else, you have just heard her nervous system make a statement. This is one reason texting flattens attraction so badly. Text has no pitch. You lose the single most honest signal available in conversation, and you replace it with punctuation you will spend an hour overanalyzing. Get her on a call. Get her in a room. The voice does not lie. 3 signals left, and this is where they become almost impossible to miss. Her laugh gets higher and lasts too long. The 5th signal she cannot control is her laughter, and not in the signal 5, the shape of a real laugh. Way most men assume, the usual advice is that she laughs at everything you say. That is true, but it is also vague, and it is the reason a lot of men fool themselves. The specific version is far more useful. When a woman is attracted to a man, her laughter changes in shape. It reigns in pitch. It arrives faster than the joke earned, and it runs slightly longer than it needs to before it trails off. That extra length is the giveaway. A polite laugh has a clean, efficient shape. It starts, it does its social job, it stops. An attracted laugh overshoots. It keeps going for a beat past the funny part, often ending in a small sigh or a repeat, because it was never really about the joke. It was a release of nervous energy that had been building since you started talking. Compare her laugh with yours against her laugh with other people in the same conversation. The pitch difference is usually obvious once you are listening for it. Higher, brighter, longer with you. Flatter and shorter with everyone else. You were not funnier. Her nervous system was warmer. The 6th signal is one almost nobody has ever heard of. She swallows. Chapter 7. Signal 6. The throat touch. And dry mouth. And touches her throat. The 6th signal she cannot control is the one that gives away the most, because it is the one she is least aware of. Attraction activates the sympathetic nervous system, and one of the reliable effects is reduced saliva production. In plain language, her mouth goes slightly dry, and a dry mouth produces a very specific cluster of behaviors. She swallows more noticeably. She reaches for her drink more often than the drink requires. She touches her throat or the notch at the base of her neck or the necklace sitting on top of it. That throat touch is doing double duty, which is what makes it so valuable to read. It is partly a response to the physical sensation of dryness and tightness, and it is partly an ancient self-soothing gesture that also happens to expose one of the most vulnerable areas of the human body, which reads as openness and trust to anyone watching. She will never explain this to you because she has no idea it is happening. She just knows she keeps wanting a sip of water. Watch the hands drifting to the throat. Watch the sips that have no thirst behind them. It is one of the truest tells there is. And now the seventh, the one that cannot be faked by anyone. Her body falls into rhythm with yours. Here's the seventh signal, and it is the deepest evidence of attraction the human body produces. She begins to synchronize with you. Not just copying your gestures, though that happens too. Something more fundamental do. Her breathing starts to fall into the same rhythm as yours. She reaches for her drink at almost the same moment you reach for yours without either of you looking. Her sentences begin landing at the same cadence and length as yours. She goes quiet when you go quiet, and lifts when you lift. This is called interpersonal synchrony, and it is one of the oldest bonding mechanisms in human biology. Infants synchronize with their mothers within days of birth. Long married couples synchronize without ever noticing. The nervous system does it automatically with people it feels drawn to and safe with, and it does not do it with anyone else. The reason this is the ultimate signal is simple. To fake synchrony, she would have to consciously monitor your breathing, your pace, your timing, and match all of it in real time while also holding a normal conversation. It cannot be done. The moment anyone tries to produce synchrony deliberately, the natural rhythm collapses and it becomes obvious mimicry. So, if you notice that a conversation with her feels unusually easy, that the timing between you seems to click, that the two of you are somehow moving together without anyone leading, that is not chemistry in the mystical sense. That is two nervous systems locking into rhythm, and hers only does that for someone it wants to be close to. That feeling you cannot explain is the most explainable signal on this entire list. So, there they are. 7 signs a woman is attracted to you that she cannot control. Her pupils open when she looks at you. Her blink rate quickens without her permission. Her skin flushes at the neck and chest. 1 minutes, 20 seconds. Her voice drops below her normal range. Her laugh gets higher and lasts too long. She swallows and touches her throat, and her body falls into rhythm with yours. Notice what all 7 have in common. Not one of them is a behavior. Every single one is a reaction. She is not performing these. Her nervous system is producing them automatically underneath conscious thought in a place where willpower has no reach. That is exactly why they are worth more than anything she says. Because here's the thing most men get wrong about reading attraction. They listen to words and watch decisions. They analyze the text message, the compliment, the smile, all of which are choices, all of which can be polite, strategic, or meaningless. Meanwhile, the honest data is sitting right in front of them in the pupils, the voice, the skin, the rhythm, and they never learn to look at any of it. You are no longer that man. You now know where to look for signals that cannot be faked, cannot be suppressed, and cannot be misread once you understand what they mean. But knowing the signals is only half of it. These 7 responses are not things you can talk a woman into producing. They are involuntary reactions to a man her nervous system has already approved of. Which means the real work was never in learning to read them. The real work is in becoming the kind of man whose presence produces them in the first place. Build the calm. Build the strength. Build the depth. The signals are the consequence, and the man you become is the cause. If this gave you something you did not have before, subscribe so the next one finds you. Drop a comment with the sign on this list you have already seen and never understood at the time. And send this to the man who keeps guessing when the answer was written all over her the whole time. Her body was telling you the truth from the first minute. Now you can finally read it. Until next time.